Hi everyone. So I'm making a quick video for you about intermittent fasting. Now it's not really quick. I'm trying to go into some detail, and if you want the real knowledge, you'll have to give it some time. So just to give you an example, right now it's about 8:30 a.m. and I have not eaten anything since last night. So what am I burning right now? What energy am I consuming? And obviously I'm consuming my fat. Everything that I've eaten in my stomach is gone. So that is the theory of intermittent fasting. And so again, just to draw a quick little graph, when you eat, your glucose goes up, and at the same time when your glucose goes up, your insulin is also going up. And insulin, besides helping us convert the glucose to help us burn the glucose, the other thing that insulin does is it helps the liver convert the glucose into glucagon or glycogen. They're similar, but basically it's a temporary fat storage. So as the glucose goes up, your insulin goes up, and that insulin is also helping that your liver put away the fat, put away the extra energy for other times. So now, when am I going to burn it? Jo liver mein aaya, when's that going to be burned? So if I have a snack later, and then I have maybe a snack bar or a latte, and then I have my dinner. So essentially throughout the day, what I'm doing is I'm storing fat, and we all want to get thinner. So therefore, comes the concept of intermittent fasting. So if I don't eat, I'm actually having very little insulin in my body because there is no food, and I'm actually burning my fat. So having explained that quickly, I'm going to now talk about how to do intermittent fasting. So I've been doing intermittent fasting for about 2 weeks now, and these are the ways that I have done it. So let's start with dinner. Dinner, let's say I have between 7 and 8 p.m. And there are many ways to do intermittent fasting, and one of the ways is 16-8, and what that means is 16 hours fasting and 8 hours eating. So the way I'm going to do this is 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's 12 hours, 9 a.m. is 14 hours, 11 a.m. is 16 hours. So to begin with, we are all kind of doing this. So I'll say, okay, let's kind of go to 9 a.m. Now you're doing a 14-hour fast. That's a good place to start. And then slowly push yourself to 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This is kind of how I've done it. The other thing to keep in mind is that there are hormones which make you hungry, and these hormones are going to peak right at the 13th hour, 14th hour and the 15th hour mark. So with practice I have gotten more used to it. So again, just to refresh, eat early, sleep, and you're at 12 right away. 12 most of us can do without effort. But see if you can get yourself to 13 or 14. And that's when you start becoming aware of these hormones which make you hungry. Now see if you can push yourself over to 15 and 16. So again, as part of the education and experience share on intermittent fasting, I'm more aware कि हाँ अब मुझे भूख लगेगी. I'm hungry now. also become more comfortable with it. So now for me, holding 15, 16, it's quite easy. So I'll give you an example. Last night, I was supposed to go watch a soccer match, Manchester United versus Barcelona. It was going to start at 11. So I was like, if I'm going to do 16-8 and I'm going to eat at midnight, I need to eat at 4 p.m. And I actually held my fast till 4 p.m. And that's practice. I've only been doing it for 2.5 weeks. The other thing I found easy to do is when I was traveling, I skipped my breakfast, and I have found it easier to go without eating, a lot more easier. I drink green tea, I drink black coffee. There are other ways. I'm still a beginner. So just a time out. If you're diabetic and on insulin and certain drugs that make you hypoglycemic, you do need to check with us or with your endo on intermittent fasting. And if you haven't been on our diet program for a while, then I wouldn't recommend it right away. But if you're doing weight loss, then these are things to consider. There's a lot of other things around intermittent fasting. One concept is auto-phagee. By the way, for this, the guy won a Nobel Prize, a Japanese scientist, just the last few years, which is that your body, there's always cells dying, and the body is designed to recycle them. But if you're always eating food, it's never going to recycle them, and that leads to diseases. So right now, my body is consuming and recycling all these cells. It's taking all of the cleaning up efforts. All the energy is also free to go to cleaning up efforts. That's another way to look at it. And I am cleaning out my body. A summary of 2 weeks of intermittent fasting is I am losing my fat. Obviously I'm burning my fat right now. It becomes tremendously easier over time. So just practice, push. It's hard. I was hungry until I started having my black coffee. And it takes, I guess, commitment. Anything in life, anything difficult in life is not easy. But this is the whole rundown on intermittent fasting. If you have questions, I love this stuff, please ask me. And again, if you're diabetic, please ask me for sure. But for weight loss, this is kind of to explain how to do it, how I've done it, and how I can suggest you to do it. These are the best things, eating at 7 to 8 and then pushing it through. If you are going to eat at 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m., it definitely will be harder as a starting point. Thank you. These are things I forgot to mention. I just remembered them. So these are things that you can have like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. when you start getting hungry, and they'll help you subside. So having just water, that's the ultimate. So water, drink lots of water, cleans your system. Green tea is very good for you. You can have the green tea as well. And black coffee. Black coffee is again something that they recommend. I just want to add that I have been having black coffee, and I never drink black coffee. I've been having black coffee on an empty stomach, and surprisingly it hasn't given me heartburn and all the things that I would expect. So that's been kind of crazy. If you want to slowly go with black coffee, then you can have cream, 2 teaspoons, and again cream is better than low fat milk or stuff in the intermittent fasting world. Because of the whole insulin glucose thing, but basically cream is better, and any kind of nuts or fats. So if you again as part, like, so my first day and second day and third day I had cashews, and on Facebook people told me, "Arey cashews kaise kha liya?" Apparently I should have macadamia nuts because it has higher fat percentage than cashews. So something is that that you can eat some fat. It's kind of like the ketogenic diet theory, or cream. But again, ideally, I found that I was migrating this way because personally I am a naturalist, and I think green tea and water obviously are better than drinking black coffee and having nuts. That does not make sense to me. But we're talking theory. We're talking how what the books say, and actually what I've done to help me start here and then work my way up. Thank you.